Once upon a time, in a quiet little village at the edge of the forest, there lived a poor widow and her only son, Jack. Their cottage was tiny, with a roof of straw. They had little to eat and very few coins to spend. The only treasure they owned was a gentle brown cow. But one morning, the cow gave no milk. Jack's mother wrung her hands and said, "Jack, we must sell the cow. Take her to market and do your best to get a fair price." Jack set off down the road, leading the cow. The sun was warm, the birds sang, and Jack thought of what he might buy: bread, cheese, maybe even shoes for his mother. But before long he met a strange old man. The man's eyes twinkled and his cloak shimmered in the light. He asked, "Where are you taking that fine cow, my boy?" Jack explained. The man smiled, reached into his pocket, and drew out 5 beans that glowed faintly green. "These are magic beans," he whispered. "Plant them tonight, and wonders will appear by morning." Jack's heart beat faster. Magic, riches, adventure. Without thinking, he gave the man the cow and hurried home with the beans. But when he showed them to his mother, she cried, "Beans? For our cow? Foolish boy!" In her anger, she tossed them out the window and sent Jack to bed without supper. Jack lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if the man had tricked him. That night, under the silver moon, something stirred. The beans sprouted, roots curling deep, stalks twisting upward. Higher and higher they climbed, until by morning a giant beanstalk towered into the clouds. Jack gasped at the sight. His mother begged him not to climb, but Jack was curious and brave. He grasped the stalk with both hands and began to climb, up and up, past the trees, past the birds, past the drifting clouds, until at last he stepped onto a wide plain above the sky. There, gleaming in the sunlight, stood a castle. Its doors were taller than church towers. Its windows glittered like mirrors. Jack crept to the doorway, heart thumping, and slipped inside. The hall stretched farther than any street Jack had ever seen. On the great table sat a hen that laid golden eggs, and beside it a harp that sang all by itself. Jack's eyes grew wide with wonder, but then the ground trembled. Heavy footsteps echoed. A voice boomed, "Fee, fee, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." Jack darted beneath a cupboard. Into the hall stomped a giant, tall as a mountain, with eyes like burning coals. He sniffed the air, growled, and roared for supper. Soon a tray was brought, filled with roasted oxen and barrels of ale. The giant ate, drank, and at last snored like thunder. Quiet as a whisper, Jack crept out. He tucked the hen under one arm, the harp under the other, and tiptoed away. But just as he reached the door, the harp sang out in a silver voice, "Master, master, someone is stealing me." The giant awoke with a roar. Jack sprinted from the castle across the plain to the edge of the beanstalk. He scrambled down, leaves whipping his face, hands burning from the climb. Above, the giant thundered after him, shaking the stalk with every step. Jack's mother saw him from below. "Jack!" she cried. "Hurry!" Jack shouted back. "Bring me an axe, mother!" As Jack touched the ground, his mother rushed forward with the axe. Once, twice, 3 times he struck. The beanstalk cracked, groaned, and toppled. The giant tumbled with it, roaring as he fell through the clouds, and he was never seen again. From that day on, Jack and his mother lived happily. Each morning, the hen laid a golden egg. Each night, The harp sang sweet songs. Their cottage was filled with laughter, with warmth, and with peace. And so, dear children, remember, courage, kindness, and a little bit of hope can lead to wonders beyond the clouds. And that is the story of Jack and the Beanstalk.